Yo, I'm back. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna finish reading the sentencing junk, then I'm done with this shit forever. At least this part of it. Main reason I don't talk about this shit is because yo, you still can't hear me? Yo. Matter of fact, I'm waiting for some people to come back. Yo. Wait for some people to come back. That's one of the main reasons I don't talk about this shit. Nigga ain't proud of the shit they did when they was a kid, when nigga was out there living like that. Like, that's why I don't glorify the shit. Just reading that shit about this shit went to the judge. Just reading the shit about a person, mother, person, baby, mother, person, child. Come on, bro. This shit bigger than content. What you mean, much respect. What? What you mean? You made your point. Love you too. Made your point. Nah, we got to finish it though. You know what I mean? It ain't like that I ain't, man. You know what I mean? They want to make it an issue. We gonna finish the issue. I ain't read the names, but when I got to that part, that shit bothered me. Let a few more people get up in here, man. But that's one of the reasons I don't, you know what I mean? That's one of the reasons I don't even go back through all this shit, bro. That's one of the main reasons I don't even go through all this stuff right there. I ain't gonna even read that last part again. So if you followed it or you gotta watch it as I finish it, you're gonna have to you just gonna have to watch them together. You made your point. That's why all this internet stuff gotta stop. Because be bringing up all that old stuff ain't worth it. They ain't gonna want nobody. I feel you. Hold on, let me get some ice. Yeah, we gonna finish it though. What you mean by that? He said I got hella info. He said you don't owe nobody nothing. But sometimes when you talk that talk, you do owe somebody an explanation. I'm talking about the people that care, at the least. I got to finish reading it though. That was my sentencing transcript. It took me all the way back to all the mistakes I made when I was a kid. But I got to finish it because we started it, right? I was trying to wait for a few more people to get back in here. But we're going to finish. We're going to pick right back up. That was a very emotional pop for me. It just made me think about all the pain I caused people. Not just the people that I caused the pain to on that side. It made me think about all the pain I caused on my side. But let's go back into the sentencing memorandum for me. Like I told you, if I told on somebody, it would be in here pertaining to this case. This is the sentencing of the case. So a judge should consider 4 factors when imposing sentence. A, the protection of society against wrongdoers. The punishment, or much better, the discipline of the wrongdoer. C, the reformation and rehabilitation of the wrongdoer. And D, the deterrence of others from the commission of like offenses. However, the principal objective of sentencing is the protection of society. And the justice system is operated for the benefit of society. Incarceration is chosen to reflect society's view of this proper response to the commission of particular criminal offenses. The sentencing judge can consider a wide variety of information as to a defendant's background, character, and conduct, criminal or otherwise, when imposing a sentence. The court may also weigh the details of the crime for which the defendant is being punished. Accordingly, the court should sentence the defendant to the fullest term of incarceration. While reparation and rehabilitation have emerged as important sentencing goals, as the U.S. rehabilitation and the defendant should not be a goal of the court. An attempt to reform Eon Williams would of necessity require that he not receive the maximum sentence. Given the violence of this murder, the greed demonstrated by the defendant, that he should receive the maximum sentence. Given the violence of this murder, the greed demonstrated by the defendant, that after murdering the person, he chased down his second victim and attempted to murder him to eliminate him as a witness, all for the bag of crack cocaine. It would be inappropriate for Mr. Williams to be given such a benefit. To sentence Mr. Williams to anything less than the maximum punishment would involve safety risk to the community, substantial risk which the court has a duty to minimize so that society can be protected. The maximum sentence this court can impose would be 15 years to life, with a 5-year mandatory minimum component. With the reduction for good time credit, Mr. Williams would preferably serve about 12 years before he would be released. This means that with the credit for the time already served, Mr. Williams would be released from prison before he even reaches 30 years old. Society is not demanding a redemptive metamorphosis. See the General Fielding Cell 548321-2nd CR 1977. No constitution principle prefers rehabilitation over deterrence and retribution as a sentencing goal. Criminal sanctions have historically been justified in part on the theory that they coerce conformity with law, that without them, there are many like Mr. Williams who will disobey the law. Such persons obey the law not as a matter of conscience, but in order to avoid the sanctions that will be imposed if they disobey. Collins versus Francis. An important function of the correction system is the deterrence of crime. The premise is that by confining offenders in a facility where they are isolated from the rest of society, a condition that most people presumably find undesirable, they and others will be deterred from committing additional crimes. This deterrent is for defendants like Williams. This defendant must never have the opportunity to destroy lives of other people as he has done in this case. Given the level of the defendant's culpability, the thought of deterring him necessarily involves a discussion of a significant period of incarceration because it is the grave man of the sentence, not its mere imposition, which carries the coerciveness confronting the influence. This defendant has to understand that his liberty has been permanently jeopardized. Wow. Because of his own criminality at 16 years old, the court should impose a maximum sentence, not merely to punish the defendant, but to deter others from committing similar crimes and to assume and assure the protection of the community's sensibility. This court should look beyond this offender to the sentence presumed effects on others. Finally, the community has a legitimate interest in validating the effectiveness of the criminal justice system. While the court has recognized that retribution is no longer the dominant objective of law, the instinctive ability for retribution is part of the nature of man, and channeling that instinct in the administration of criminal justice serves as an important purpose in promoting the stability of a society governed by law. When people begin to believe that organized society is unwilling or unable to impose upon criminal offenders the punishment they deserve, then there are sown the seeds of anarchy, self-help, vigilante justice, and more, even lynching and mandatory sentences. Punishment is the way in which society expresses its denunciation of wrongdoing, and in order to maintain respect for law, it is essential that the punishment inflicted for grave crimes like those of Mr. Williams should adequately reflect revulsion felt by the great majority of citizens for them. It is a mistake to consider the object of punishment as being a deterrent or referendum to reform or be preventative of anything else. That the truth is that some crimes are so outrageous that society insists on adequate punishment because the wrongdoers deserve it, irrespectively of whether it is a deterrent or not. In this case, like this one involving murder, the legislator has tactically defined the defendant's conduct as, quote, outrageous and labeled his crimes as grave, one which warrant imprisonment without one concern for rehabilitation. The strictest sentence possible in this case will tell the community that those involved in such abhorrent and outrageous conduct as the defendant will find few accommodations in the criminal justice system. Wherefore, the government respectfully recommends that the defendant, Eon Williams, be sentenced to the maximum allowable time of imprisonment. I can show y'all that. The maximum allowable time of imprisonment, top of the morning. Ain't no favors in my sentencing. The maximum time allowed in prison. Wherefore, the government respectfully recommends that the defendant, Eon Williams, be sentenced to the maximum allowable term of imprisonment. The maximum, bruh. No benefit. The maximum. The maximum. Clayton Fountain was a fuckboy that told before. Tommy Silverstein was fucking him. You ain't know that, though. You ain't know Tommy Silverstein was fucking Clay. Man. That's my sentencing memorandum right there. I'm done with that shit, bro. Damn, you gonna put that on TD? I ain't even responding to you, bro. You gonna put that on TD? Hold on, where this other Joe at? Yeah, but since they want to talk about who was telling them the case, let's go to this. Let's go to this document real quick. Motion to suppress identification testimony. They ain't going to that because they so dumb they don't understand what a motion to suppress identification. Yeah, now there is a motion to suppress identification. I know we don't think I was identifying myself, do we? ADX Florence, there's a channel. He was a god, still talking about. Anyway. Cleveland, Ohio, what's up? Frank Matthews, what's up? I'm just, oh shit. Mm. Ain't too much, man. Same old, man. I had to go read that damn sentencing transcript for Goofy. Matter of fact, I need to read that junk they got. I ain't gonna keep going into that other shit though. That shit ain't even important to me no more. Mm. Hey, you got a comedy show where? You got a comedy show where, bro? Alexis. Hey, who is that? I forgot who that is. Top of the morning. Oh, that's my man. What's up, bro? You just tapping in. I was up early today because I was looking through this paperwork. I'm tired of even dealing with that. The game was intense though. I can't make no bunch of excuses either. Like the ball was wet, this or that. We turned the ball over 3 times. Two of them jumps was just like unbelievable. You late as shit. So they know me. You're supposed to be there at 9. I hope you ain't supposed to be there at 8. I hope you're supposed to be there at 9. I hope you're supposed to be there at 9. Yeah, we got the dub. I'm very, very disappointed, bro. I was very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. Yeah, but even before that fumble, they had already jacked the joint off with the Jody the other joint when he dropped it on the ground. So, you know how that go. I'm about to put this shit up right here. Put it up for a second. That's the indictment part. It was a dog fight, but bro, you said I've been on my job 20 years, family business, black owned. That's why you shouldn't be late. And that's exactly why you shouldn't be late. Can you write a full sentence, bro? It's about dealing with this chick last night. Well, it's a blessing you up. Top of the morning, y'all. What it do, what it do. Mm. Yeah, man, reading that shit earlier, man. That shit, man, affected me, man. That shit brought back different type of memories, bro. Top of the morning and Glizzy a rat. I can't call him a rat. Wayne Perry's girlfriend. That's what you call him? I mean, that's what you call her? Yeah, man, you a little late. I just went through the paperwork. I just went through the motion to suppress. I just went through the real shit. She ain't showed it. She just read some wild shit. She had 2 pieces of paper. She can't even read. My ex uses forklift instead of Uber Lyft. Ah, man. Hey, how big is DC compared to 757? How many high schools y'all got? I don't know how many high schools we got, but y'all area way bigger than ours. DC is small. I don't know how many high schools we got, to be honest with you. I would have to Google that. I mean, I know a few of them. I don't know how many high schools we got. I could think of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I know I'm forgetting something. I can only think about 10. Yeah, man. I felt like that about the Sean Cotton thing. I got the for real. But I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't understand I don't understand his beef. I don't understand his beef. Oh, no reading, no comprehension. I sure left it alone. I wasn't sure. I was like, what I talk about? It's just defamation of character. Hmm. Yeah, for somebody that's making money, right? Anything to get views and a little bit of fame, crazy work. How many of y'all even watch Say Cheese though? I understand they got millions of subscribers, but how many of y'all people that click on and watch whatever I'm talking about? How many of y'all watch it? Affect your livelihood is a defamation. Depend on who is the interviewer. Yeah, I don't watch 2 or 3 of his shows, so I guess that's for me too. Somebody said not really. Oh, okay, that explains the traffic out there. Hey, what was it like outside when them snipers was on the loose? Well, I was locked up when the snipers was on the loose, but the snipers only hit one person in DC. You know that, right? And they hit them all the way at the corner. Like they shot from across the street, which is Maryland, into DC into a gas station, if I remember correctly. I can look it up. But they didn't even kill nobody in D. They hit one person in DC. All the rest of that shit was around the Beltway. It should have been called the Beltway snipers, but that wasn't sensational enough for the news headline, so they called them the DC snipers. Maryland and Virginia. Remember, they was playing the highway all the way from Tacoma, Washington, somewhere. I always wonder was the DC sniper goal to get caught or to keep going? No, his goal allegedly was to create a wave of terror in the area, and then end up hitting his ex wife and getting custody of his kids. He went on a nut though, didn't he? Well, he was locked up at Sussex One. I was locked up at Sussex Two. You was locked up with John Allen Muhammad, formerly John Allen Williams. Mother still made me go to school even after he hit the 12-year-old. Yeah, I remember they hit the 12-year-old. That was wild, wasn't it? Virginia Beach jail. Oh yeah, that's why you said 757. That's what I thought. They got a movie. You got to find that. I don't think it's on Netflix. They got a couple movies on them. I thought they had something on Netflix. They got a couple films on them. Yeah, I was locked up in Lee County, Virginia when that was going on. I thought it was crazy. I swore I didn't think it was going to end up being two black people. I ain't gonna lie. Hey Slim, you see, I ain't really want to talk about that game, man. That jump blew me, man. And they said we had Super Bowl chances. Yeah, but that game wasn't lost on injury. That game was lost on mistakes. You can't turn the ball over 3 times in the NFL, and they don't turn the ball over at all. And they scored on every turnover. Look at the math, and we lost by one. What you watching right now? Any new series? Nah, I ain't been watching too much TV lately. I've been working on this book. Defense was sloppy. I thought the defense was kind of helping us out. The offense, the one kept turning the ball. You can't turn the ball over and over and over and over again. Defense held them boys to 3 straight field goals. I don't think he having a sophomore slump either. Never should be in a shootout with trash. Damn. That one bad end off did it. That was the icing on the cake, man. But we needed that dub. Yeah, y'all came through with that dub. I give you that. I give you that. League wide open, and he wants to win it this year. Well, I don't think teams have settled into their greatness yet. We did with it with close game last year, but those same close games could have went either way at the end, just like some of these, just like the Chicago game. I mean, the Chicago game we got last year was one of them. It was a Hail Mary. It was upset when you look at everybody that lost. I found out a majority of them was favorites. That's true, Bill. Well, I finished reading that shit. I'll be back in a minute. We need Terry, man. Hate that minute. I mean, Debo did his thing last night. Debo carried it. The Cowboys suck and the Eagles pedestrian. The Giants suck too. The whole NFC East is a toss up. Man, we gonna see. I catch y'all in a minute, man.